Hey, Lisa Mason Mentor here with the blogging chair. Today I'm going to do something just a little bit different. I have been wanting to read this book that I have. It's been sitting on my desk for a while, and I've read a little bit of it, but I really need to be more consistent. And so I thought a good idea for me to do would be to read it with you. If you have any idea how tough it can be to be just consistent sometimes with reading. I love to read, but I have so many things that I'm reading. I need to really be consistent on this particular book, and it's called The Greatest Salesman, The Greatest Secret in the World by Og Mandino. O-G is his first name, Og. And it's actually the legend of 10 scrolls, and you would read each scroll for a month about 3 times a day. So I want to just go on and go through the 10 scrolls with you, and then I'm going to revisit them over the next 10 months. Okay? That makes sense? All right, so I'm going to start reading the preface here, and then I'm going to read scroll number 1. I'm actually on a freedom run, and so this is really going to help me to get more focused, consistent, all of those things that I need to do to reach my goal in February. And another thing I'm going to be doing is at the end of every day, I'm going to be actually creating a video to help hold me more accountable. And my friend Jasmine Anderson, she actually kind of hit me to this idea, and so I'm actually going to be doing that as well. So at the end of every day, I'm going to be posting another video just on how I am achieving my goals and my objectives for each day. Okay, so the preface for The Greatest Secret in the World by Og Mandino. This book was actually written in 1972, and I have a very old edition of it that I got off of Amazon. So I really hope that you enjoy the reading of the 10 scrolls with me. The Legend of the 10 Scrolls from the Greatest Salesman in the World. Once upon a time, nearly 2,000 years ago, a young camel boy named Hafid fell in love with a wealthy merchant's daughter. To improve his lowly station in life, in order that he could ask for the fair Lisha's hand in marriage, Hafid convinced his master, the great caravan merchant Petros, to give him an opportunity to prove his ability as a salesman. From the caravan supply wagon, Petros presented the youth with one new robe, which he challenged him to sell in the nearby village of Bethlehem. For 3 days in that poor hamlet, Hafid failed in his every attempt to sell the robe, and finally, in a moment of pity, he gave the robe to warm a newborn baby in a cave near the village inn. The young man returned to the caravan, so full of shame and self-pity with his failure at becoming a salesman that he did not notice the bright star shining above his head which accompanied him on his return from Bethlehem. But Petros noticed, and the old man interpreted the brightness above as a sign from the gods, a sign he had been awaiting for many years, a sign which would release him from his secret possession of the 10 great scrolls for success, which he had received when he had also been a poor youth. The old merchant, before his death, presented the 10 scrolls to Hafid, who employed their principles to eventually become the wealthiest, the most successful, the greatest salesman in the world. Several decades later, Hafid passed the 10 scrolls on to a very special person. Now you hold them in your hands, and in this book, you will be taught how to read them and how to apply their wisdom to your own life, plus how to chart your day-to-day progress with your own success recorder so that you can achieve lasting wealth, health, happiness, and most importantly, peace of mind. Chapter 1. Before you and I became involved in the 10 great scrolls for success, let's have a heart-to-heart talk. I'll listen, I'll talk, you listen. The money spent on this book has been wasted. Whether someone who cares for you, who wants you to make it big, who perhaps even loves you, gave you the greatest secret in the world, or whether you purchased it yourself, the money has been wasted. The money has been wasted unless you are willing to accept and try a plan which has already worked for thousands of others. The money has been wasted unless you have the guts, the persistence, and the willpower to follow the plan through to its fruition. The money has been wasted unless you are willing to give the plan just 10 minutes of your time each day of your work week for 45 weeks. If I were a Nick the Greek type odds maker, I'd say the odds were about 75 to 1 against your letting this system for doubling or tripling your income within the year help you as much as it can. But I'm different, you remind me. Really? If you made any New Year's resolutions last January 1st, how long did you keep them? What about those excess pounds you were going to lose, or those cigarettes you were going to quit using, or that second drink you were going to stop having? How long are you going to keep kidding yourself? Perhaps you really do have a burning desire to succeed. Perhaps the added responsibility of marriage or parenthood, or the desire for a new home or even a new car, or a mounting pile of debt have forced you to come to terms with yourself and acknowledge that the solution to all your needs and desires is really dependent on no one but you. But a burning desire to succeed is not enough. As the executive editor of Success Unlimited, a magazine devoted to helping individuals improve their business and personal life, I long ago recognized the fact that there are two types of burning desire. The one type is phony and hypocritical. This phony type of burning desire is found in the person who is constantly telling his wife, his boss, and worst of all himself, that he really wants to succeed. He reads all the self-help books published and he gets his kicks from reading about others succeeding, just as there are individuals who get their kicks from reading pornographic books. Unfortunately, our friends who read either types of these books, they never get into action. They live their lives vicariously through their imagined participation in the lives and activities of others. Tomorrow, to this type of dreamer, will be a great day. Tomorrow never comes. If I have struck a little nerve within you, don't be concerned. Let me wipe that frown from your brow by assuring you that all of us possess some of that phony kind of burning desire. We make promises to others, promises that we know we can't keep in order to get our boss or our wife off our backs, little realizing the harm we are doing to our own personality because we know we're lying. Today is the day you wipe that slate clean. No more phony promises, no more great plans in the evening which vanish when the sun rises. No more kidding yourself. As you move day by day through this simple success program, you will slowly come to realize one important truth. You are nature's greatest miracle. Just to duplicate the computer you possess, called a brain, would require sufficient electronic equipment to fill the entire interior of the Empire State Building. You are rare and unique, and the ultimate product of several million years of evolution. Both in mind and body, you are far better equipped than Solomon or Caesar or Plato to make something beautiful and meaningful of your life. You have a greater potential than anyone who has ever lived before you, but you'll never make it by sitting on your duff and telling the world how great you're going to be starting tomorrow. Sooner or later, the friendly bill collector or landlord will shake his head at your promises. Sooner or later, credit runs out. Sooner or later, you put up or shut up. This book will show you how to put up if you will give it a chance to work for you. The Greatest Salesman in the World, the book from which this guide was developed, has been a publishing phenomenon since its first edition in 1968. Few books, especially books on salesmanship, ever attain hardcover sales of 250,000 copies, and neither the author nor its publisher dared to imagine that a small volume about a salesman living in the time of Christ would be met with the enthusiastic reception that it has enjoyed. Even more amazing, sales have increased each year since its publication. Executives responsible for the supervision of sales groups throughout the country quickly recognized the potential impact of The Greatest Salesman in the World as a motivational tool. Soon after its publication, one firm purchased 30,000 copies. Copies have been purchased in volume by several hundred firms and sales organizations, including such corporate giants as Coca-Cola, Amway Corporation, Combined Insurance Company of America, Kraft Foods, Success Motivation Institute, Park Davis and Company, Sperry Hutchison, Volkswagen, Valley Steel Company, Genesco, Stanley Home Products, Norton International, the Southwestern Company, Stratford Squire International, American General Insurance Company of Delaware, Steamatic Life Insurance of Kentucky, and Steak and Ale Restaurants of America, Incorporated. Soon after publication, both the author and publisher received another pleasant surprise. The Greatest Salesman in the World, written primarily for salespeople, had somehow filtered far beyond its intended market. Letters seeking more information about the scrolls began to arrive from individuals and organizations representing such widely diversified groups as an artist colony, prison heads concerned with rehabilitation, management consultants, politicians, college professors, armed forces personnel, the medical profession, students, professional athletes, even the National Center for Brain Damaged Children. One salesman, after purchasing a gun to end his life because he had taken company funds, wrote that the book saved his life. He went to his firm, confessed his mistake, made restitution, and was given another chance. Many wrote that the book's title was misleading. The Greatest Salesman in the World sounded like a salesman book, whereas it was a book for anyone searching for his or her niche in life. The book became and still is a popular gift item. Sales managers to their salesmen, parents to their children, wives to husbands who are still struggling. Hopefully, with my name dropping of all these corporations and the other examples cited in the past few paragraphs, I have sold you on the fact that you're not just holding another how-to sales book loaded with complicated theories, charts, and selling techniques that look and sound terrific, but won't do much for you tomorrow or next week. Each success scroll will be beneficial to you, no matter what your profession may be, providing you make one sincere promise to yourself that you will give it just 10 minutes of your time each workday for the next 45 weeks. 10 minutes, about the time it takes you to shower each day. Is that too much to ask to double or triple your income in the next 10 months? Where have you ever had a deal like this before? Now, I'm not going to ask you what you want from life. I'm not sure you could answer me. And I'm not going to ask you to list your assets as they are now and then make a second list showing what you'd like for them to be a year from now, 5 years from now, and so on. We don't need to go through all that pipe dream success bookkeeping you find in most self-help books. All we both need to know are 4 facts. What is your job title and what is your weekly income today? Plus, what would you like your job title to be and what do you want to be earning 45 weeks from now when you complete your success recorder? So on a piece of paper, which I want you to keep in the privacy of your home, I'd like you to write a memo to yourself. To John Smith. Include the date. My present job title is blank. My present weekly income is blank. My job title 45 weeks from now, blank. My weekly income 45 weeks from now, blank. That's it. Sign it and tuck it away. Don't even discuss it with anyone except perhaps your wife or husband. That's my inclusion. Do it now, right now. Procrastination is one of your habits we can't start working on anytime too soon. Why didn't I ask you for a long list of the things you wanted to achieve and acquire in the next 10 months? Things like a new home perhaps, or the beginning of a college fund for your children, or maybe their movie camera with a 10-to-1 zoom lens you've wanted for so long. Because it wasn't necessary. If you have improved your job title and your weekly income as much as I think you've indicated on that private memo to yourself, then all the material things you want will begin to come your way. Any long list of your dreams is unnecessary. You know what you want, and your success recorder diary will help keep you on the right course. I'm going to stop right here for today, and I'm going to start tomorrow with the scroll marked 1. I am very, very excited about doing this because this is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. And I used to be in an organization with Cedric Harris, and Cedric Harris said that he actually read The Greatest Secret in the World, as well as a good friend of mine who's also a top earner, Larry Beecham. And I got this book because of them. It's just been sitting on my desk, and I am so embarrassed by that. But I bet I'm not alone. I bet there's something that you've been wanting to do, that you've been putting off, that you know you need to be doing. So this is my commitment for the next 10 months to not just double my income, but to triple my income. I'm on a freedom run, and I encourage you, if things aren't going well in your life, if you know that you are destined for greatness, stop putting it off. just do it. You got to do it. We've got to do it. Okay, so my life could be a lot better than it is right now. I'm still not where I want to be in my business, in my career, and so I have got to ramp it way up, and I've got to expect more out of myself than I've ever expected before. And I'm going to depend on you to help hold me accountable in reading these 10 scrolls for the next 10 days, and then to do it over and over for the next 10 months. So I encourage you to participate in this with me. You can definitely pick this up on Amazon. You can maybe even add it to your Kindle or your tablet or whatever it is that you have. But I encourage you to start and begin this with me. Let's do this journey together. Peace and one love. Bye.